Hello, my tubies, my Teletubbies. This is Sheila Truelove. And today we are going to talk about narcissists and Jehovah's Witnesses. I have on my glasses because I don't have makeup on my eyes. My eyes were a little irritated today, even at the office. So anyway, we are going to be talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, narcissists and Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, when you are a part, before we start that, I want you to see this. This is the People magazine. Okay? People magazine, a well-respected magazine that everyone reads. And this is the February 10th, 2000. See that date? February 10th, 2020. And it's the People magazine with Kobe Bryant's face on it. Now take a look at the article that's in here. Right here. A Jehovah's Witnesses cover-up. And they have the full story here. So when you get a chance, please get your copy and read the story. This is so people can realize, like I said, it's the People magazine. It's all on ABC News. It's on NBC. It's on Oxygen. It's on A&E. It's everywhere. So for JWs to say that they haven't heard about any of this or they don't know anything about this, I find that's a lie. They just don't care. They don't care. Anyway, we're going to talk about narcissists and Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, when you are a part of the Watchtower and Jehovah's Witness group, you're taught to be very narcissistic. And I find that was something that I could have developed. But like I said, there's no way I could ever be a narcissist, even if I tried with all of my power. That's the reason why I had to fall back from this organization, because it is very narcissistic. Now, if you are a true empath, like I said, there's no way, after doing your research and looking at all the evidence everywhere, even from people who are not JWs, like Watchtower Examination, like XJW Analyzer. They have so many people who they can't say are apostates because they're not JWs. But anyway, after doing your research and looking at all the evidence about this organization, how can you stay a part of it and still say that you're not a narcissist? When it comes to valuing other people, JWs, they lack that quality. Tell me if what I'm about to discuss with you, these factors, tell me if I'm wrong. Just tell me. For one thing, this organization is very one-sided. Very one-sided. They want everyone to listen to what they have to say, but they are really not interested in what you have to say. If it isn't something that you are in agreement with, or if you don't agree with them, then they're not really interested in hearing it. I'm sure you have seen this on many occasions when you see how people have approached these witnesses with the carts, and people have approached these witnesses to ask genuine questions. They're not trying to argue. They're not trying to fight. They just want to have a simple discussion. And when they try to bring things to the Watchtower people, they're not interested. Now tell me that's not narcissistic. A narcissistic person is someone who only care about themselves. They're selfish. They only care about themselves. And when they try to act as though that they're going out in the ministry to try to help people, try to save people, no, actually, they're going out in the ministry to destroy families. And anyone all of those who have fallen back from this organization, they know exactly what I am saying. For people who have experienced people who have committed suicide, and those who have lost their friends, they thought they were friends. Those are not friends, honey, not at all. But when you lost your family, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They want you to read their literature their books and their magazines, but they refuse to read or even take an interest in something that you may recommend for them to read. Like, I love me some Joyce Myers. Where's my Joyce? Do I keep her close? Oh yeah, I love me some Joyce. Absolutely. Joyce Myers. Battlefield of the Mind. And it's a study guide. This is a study guide that you read along with the book. Now, if I were to try to suggest piece of profile for a JW to sit down and let's study the Joyce Meyer study guide, or let's just, read that book or Charles Stanley book, do you think that they would sit down and listen? I have indigestion, excuse me. Sit down and take an interest? But they want you to read all of their magazines, all of their books. They don't have Bible studies. They have book studies. They have magazine studies. Now, if you disagree with them, they have no problem discarding you or shunning you. Everything must be their way or no way at all. They have no tolerance for other people. And unfortunately, I find that my children suffer from this. And and the reason why they have this type of mentality is because they were raised as JWs. That's why they don't want to hear nothing nobody have to say. If you're speaking the truth about anything, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You're attacking them. You are being critical of them. And they get all of that from the Jehovah Witness organization. Now tell me if you can identify with this. They are very, very self-centered. They don't care about whose lives and whose families and marriages they destroy. And when I say they don't care, Tubies, Teletubbies, they don't care. Okay? And let's talk about another narcissistic trait that they have. Let's talk about their arrogant thinking and their arrogant behavior. They really believe that they are the only ones who have God and Jesus Christ's favor. All other followers of Christ are on the wrong path. Leave it up to them. Let them tell it. Okay? But when you think about it, they're the ones who fail to realize that they are missing the most important ingredient of all, that Jesus Christ said is the most important command of all, and that's to love God and to what? That's right, to love each other. And we all know that they are lacking in that area. What about their lack of empathy and consideration for others? When it comes to trying to understand the struggles of other people, everything is just black and white with this group. They don't care if you're having a hard time. They don't care. They only focus on all the things you're not doing right. Forget about the 100 things that you may be doing right. Forget about that. Everything you're doing right from day to day. And we know that's very challenging in a world that's pretty much all wrong. But you're doing 100 things right. But if you do 1 or 2 things that are wrong, that's what they focus on. Now tell me, how narcissistic is that? That's where my children got that mentality from. They focus on everything you do, the 2, 3 things, minor, not huge, something that can be worked out through counseling or a family Bible study, things that can be worked out. No. You do 100, forget 100 things. You do 1,000 things right. And they're only going to focus and they're going to beat you over your head for the rest of your life. They're never going to let you live it down. Never. Okay? What about their constant need for admiration and validation? The only validation I'm concerned with, my Tubies and Teletubbies, is God and Jesus Christ. If you disagree with anything they say, they feel that you're not validating them, or that you're attacking them, or you're trying to be difficult, or you're argumentative. So guess what happens? Once they put you in that light and they see you that way, yep, you got it. You guessed it. It's time to shun you. It's time to ignore you and avoid you. Anyone who they feel is not as devoted as they are, they will constantly look down on that person. Constantly, they will criticize you. They will be judgmental to you. They will be up on their high horse looking down on you. You're not as devoted as I am. You're not doing all that you see me doing. I need I say more. When it comes to empathy, the most empathy you'll ever see from this group is superficial and conditional. The condition is being a Jehovah's Witness. You got to be a witness. When and if they actually do something, let's say they do something to help a person, like let's say they help a person get a job, or they bring business to the person, the support goes away as soon as that person decides that, you know what, this organization is not for me. This religion, cult, whatever, is not for me. And like I said, their empathy is definitely conditional and it's superficial, and it's just worthless. When you think about other places of worship, now this is important, and you think about other religions, they have charity drives or support community outreach groups that help the community and the people in the community. Some even have various support groups, and that's something you will never find with Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, people who have addictions, or people who have alcohol issues. You know, you have churches and other organizations and other worship and other religions that are helping people through that. Why can't Jehovah's Witnesses have an AA meeting at the Kingdom Hall, or NA, Narcotics Anonymous, or even Al-Anon or Alateen, for people who are working through issues? Why can't they have that in these Kingdom Halls set up for people so that they can have the necessary support and get the help that they need? They don't even want you going to Alcoholics Anonymous, NA, Al-Anon. They don't want you to do anything to try to help yourself. They don't do really anything for the community except for come knocking at the door to destroy your family. You know, you have other religious groups, and you have other places of worship where they are trying to help people who need help. You know, they realize that people may be going through some hardship or some kind of tragedy. Now, when have you ever heard of such a thing from a Kingdom Hall? The community they live in barely even know who these people are until what? Until they go knocking on their door to try to do what? Help them? No, try to convert them. That's what they're knocking at your door for. They're not coming to help you. Their beliefs and their teachings tell them not to feel anything for anybody that is not a witness. Yet, they claim to be a religion of love and an example for the rest of the world. Are you kidding me? They should do stand-up. That's comedy hour. Now, let's not forget how they gaslight people by telling them that they are the ones who's creating the breakup. That's a doozy. You're the one who's messing up your family and deciding, you're making this decision. You're the one who's deciding to break up your family. You're creating this. That's gaslighting. They try to make it seem like you're the one who's crazy. They try to make you believe that you are the problem for not wanting to stay with the organization. Like I said, this organization is very selfish. They have no empathy. They're demeaning. They're manipulative. And they are very, very, very demanding. That's every trait of a full-blown narc. That's why I couldn't stay with this. When I say that I'm an empath in every sense of the word, I assure you, that's Sheila Truelove. There's no way I could stay connected with an organization like this. And all those people who find no fault with it, with all of this stuff and all of this information that's out here, not just with this, okay, not just with stuff like this. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. They kind of act like they can't read. Now, I know they're not allowed to go on the internet because they're not permitted to do that. But they don't look at the news? They don't look at the news. They're not allowed to do that either? Come on, let's get real. Keep it real. They know what's going on. They know this organization is corrupt. Another thing that I find with this organization is when you try to communicate with these people, it's like walking on a landmine, and you constantly have to talk on eggshells. That's why my relationship with my children is strained, and you got to walk on eggshells. You got to watch every little word, every little thing that you say. And they get all of these traits from this Jehovah Witness organization. You're not allowed to be open. You're not allowed to be honest with these people because they're not interested in the truth, not even a little bit. They're not interested in the truth. So like I said earlier, there's no way a true empath can stay connected to such a narcissistic group of people like these. There's no way they can do it. Okay? So like I was telling someone earlier, no, baby. She the true love narcissistic. That I couldn't do that even on my best day. Are you still a part of that organization? You still feel comfortable with an organization that have the traits that I just shared with you? Really? How narcissistic is that? Anyway, this is Sheila True Love, truly loving you. And until next time, you know how I do. I'll see you on the other side. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with all the people who you feel can be helped by this. And press the like button. Click. Press the like button if you felt that this was helpful to you in any way and if you liked it. Okay? This is Sheila True Love, truly loving you. Bye for now. You always have a choice. Please choose wisely.